Welcome to the Rap Soul Podcast, where we dive deep into the world of music that moves our hearts and gets our feet tapping. This is the intersection of rap and soul music from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. We appreciate you for listening. Share this podcast with a friend or family member who loves music as much as you do. The podcast is hosted by 12 Kyle. Next up, the Rap Soul Podcast.
Welcome to another edition of the Rap Soul Podcast. I am your boy, 12 Kyle. I want to thank you all for tuning in as you do each and every week. Again, this is the Rap Soul Podcast. This is the intersection where we have discussions about music, more specifically rap, soul, hip hop, and R&B music from the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s. Simply put, folks, this is the best music podcast that you've never heard until right now. Again, I want to thank you all for tuning in as you do each and every week. Shout out to those of you who are watching on YouTube. This is the Rap Soul Podcast, so you know that we will do from time to time the verse of the week. And the verse of the week doesn't necessarily have to be a rap verse. And that will be the case this week as we have chosen a verse from one of my personal favorite albums of any genre at any given time. It is the album My Life, the artist Mary J. Blige, and the song is the title track, My Life. This album was released November 29th, 1994. At the time that it was released, a young 12 Kyle was on the campus of South Carolina State University enjoying himself to the fullest. But yeah, this is one of my favorite albums. One of the things that you may not know is that this song was produced by the late Chucky Thompson, rest in peace, and Sean Puff Daddy Combs. Puff had his hands on it, but I think when I listened to the lyrics and I listened to the way that this album, more specifically this song sounds, you can hear, Chucky Thompson's influence all over this particular song. It was written by Mary J. Blige, Arlene DeVale, Chucky Thompson, as well as Puff Daddy. The song is 4 minutes and 17 seconds. And I want to particularly pay attention to the first verse because that is what we're going to use for the verse of the week. As many of you know, I'm a huge Mary J. Blige fan. Been a fan literally and figuratively since day one. Her first album, What's the 411, was incredible. Nobody knew what we were going to be in store for her second album. And the second album comes out as My Life. Now, what we did not realize at the time, because there was no social media, was that Mary J. Blige had been going through a lot of things. She was dealing with depression, alcoholism, drugs. She would later admit she was in an abusive relationship. And one of the things that's always interesting about the album, My Life, more specifically the song, when you listen to it, it is a favorite of a lot of people. But the thing about it is that Mary J. Blige was going through a personal hell. And it's one of the songs that we actually love and really, really love in her catalog. And so there's a juxtaposition there that is really interesting when you think about it, because we want to hear Mary J. sing this song and we want to hear about her struggle because it's very relatable to a lot of us. But at the same time, she was really going through it and we didn't know. But the verse starts off, life can only be what you make it. When you're feeling down, you should never fake it. Say what's on your mind, and you'll find in time that all the negative energy, it will all decrease. And you'll be at peace with yourself. You won't really need no one else, except for the man above, because he will give you love. And then she goes into the chorus. If you looked into my life, you see what I see. That is a mouthful. I don't know what it took to pull that out of her. I don't know what it took to write those lyrics. I don't know what it takes to sing that. And I can only imagine it probably has become somewhat emotional for her to pull from that and sing that even to this day, many 30 years later. But that's amazing. It is really, really amazing. Those words just really jump off the page. Life can only be what you make it. When you're feeling down, you should never fake it. How many people are faking it in life? Say what's on your mind, and you'll find in time that all of the negative energy, it will decrease, and you'll be at peace with yourself. You won't really need no one else except for the man above. You need God, right? Because he'll give you love. Man, listen, that song is incredible. It is this week's verse of the week. I want to thank you all for tuning in as you do each and every week. Shout out to those of you who are watching on YouTube. I appreciate it. Be sure to tap in each week as we have new episodes from the Rap Soul podcast every Monday and every Friday. The 12 Kyle podcast drops every Thursday and every Sunday. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for me. Once again, I want to thank you all for tapping in to the Rap Soul podcast. I am your boy, 12 Kyle. I'll catch you guys next time. 5 G's. Cheer.
Thank you for listening. This concludes the episode. Be sure to subscribe to the Rap Soul podcast. You can find the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Follow the podcast on social media. And feel free to continue this discussion on our Reddit page. More importantly, share this podcast with a friend or family member who loves music as much as you do. Until next time, 5,000.